Hello friends, this is Holmes, a first-time farmer over 50. Welcome to the homestead. So if you saw yesterday's video, you saw the setup of cutting down these two trees. Well, one tree was already kind of down. It was in a position where it was leaning on a dead tree, so I had to cut the dead tree down. And basically it was a twofer. And let me tell you, it was quite an event. So we'll go here and start with the cut. So you can see the stump right there. That's the ash tree, and the main trunk that's down over the hill now. It was resting there at the base of the stump, and was up in here in this maple tree that's now on the ground. And I mentioned in the previous video, you can see the hole down there at the bottom, how these maple trees, they often get like this and they rot out. Look at that on the inside of that. That's all honeycombed through there. So my goal, let's see right there too. Yeah, there wasn't much holding that thing up. So my goal was to drop it right over in that direction between those two trees. Yeah, missed it by a little bit, but quite frankly, it's on the ground, so I'll take it. Yeah, it was an interesting project. So, see where the chainsaw is? I just dropped it. I was cutting, and you can see my cut is in this direction because I intended it to go that way. But I heard it pop, and as soon as I heard it pop, I took off. Actually, the first thing I did was I'd cut it maybe just a couple inches in. Nothing happened, kind of checked everything, cut it some more. I heard that pop, dropped the chainsaw and ran, and ran behind me from where I'm standing, ran backwards, because I knew it was going to go in this general direction because this slopes down this way, and I have this maple tree here. That was kind of my protection. So I knew if it did come this way, it wouldn't get past this maple tree, which is probably about maybe 8 or 9 inches in diameter. So it's pretty stout. So I knew we would be good there. But my main concern was, what was this thing going to do as it fell? And I wish I had video on this thing as it came down, because I did not see it because I was too busy running. The only thing that I did see was the main part of the trunk there as it rolled down the hill and settled there. You can see that part right there. In the previous video I mentioned that ash trees, they have a tendency to shear off in different places, and I pointed out two locations. One right above a hole made by a woodpecker, and then the other one was right above the fork. Well, that sheared off. That's right above the fork. So I called that one. And then here's the upper part of the ash tree right there. This is all the maple. Maple, for the most part, stayed intact, except for this right here. See that? That is not a tree. That is an upper branch. That is the top of this maple tree that it cracked off, and it came down and, like a javelin, stuck in the ground. So fortunately, it stuck in the ground about 12 feet from the trunk, and fortunately for me, I was going in the opposite direction. So that's just going to get pushed over here. At least that's the plan. I hope I don't have to cut that down as well. But yeah, it just came down and stuck, and it looks like another tree there. It's kind of crazy. And then also, having watched the previous video, you saw the top section of that ash tree that I talked about. Well, this maple landed right here on top of it, right next to that hickory tree. So it's on the ground. That's all I wanted. So that's the good news. I'll probably cut some of this up just because it's it's not where I wanted it to be, and you know, maybe I'll roll some of it out of the way, but you know, if I could leave it right here and be completely happy, just because all I really wanted was for these things to be on the ground, and they are. And I'm safe, which is most important thing, in my opinion. And the chainsaw's all intact, so we're good. So we certainly appreciate you watching. Please hit like and subscribe and ring that bell. And we look forward to seeing you again in the future. But if not, we will see you in the pasture.